Okay, Algebra 2, we are back with part 2 of section 8.3. Here's what we're talking about. We're talking about example 5. We learned all about the standard form of a circle, x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared equals r squared. We saw how it was related to the Pythagorean theorem, how we can see it tied to with the distance formula, all really beautiful stuff. But what we need to talk about is what happens if you get this disaster of looking up an equation. So this is what's called, and it's not done in this textbook, but this is called like the general equation um, of a circle. All right, so it's kind of written out in this long form. So we need to take it, make it look like this so we can graph it. And that's what our lesson is going to be about today. Not too bad. Let's just get with it. So, and I mentioned before in the last video, you want to get your completing the square hats on because that's what it's about. So what I want you to do is look at this equation in two parts. Let's call the x part blue. You got this blue part here. Let me make that a little bit better. And then so you want to collect all the x terms together. And I know these aren't like terms, but we're going to collect them together anyway. And we're going to do the same thing with the y terms. And we're going to throw the constant term over to the other side, just like we do when we're dealing with completing the square. So that leaves me with x squared minus 4x, see my organization, plus y squared plus 8y equals positive 5. You see how that worked out? Okay, so now that we've done that, we're going to leave ourselves a little bit of space. I'm going to rewrite the same thing, but I'm just leaving space between some of these values as a plus 8y is equal to 5. And let me move my equal sign over a bit. So, because you know what happens when I leave space, that means I'm fitting to add something, right? So I'm fitting to add a plus 4 here. Why? Because I'm completing the square of that x term. You see what I'm saying? So what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. And then to complete the square here, remember we add half the b term quantity squared. So half of that 8 is 4. 4 squared is 16. So I'm adding a 16 to complete the square for the y terms. But what I do to one side, I've got to do to the other. Check to make sure you feel like you're comfortable with what you've done. And then you know the next deal, we're going to write this as a perfect square. As the square of a binomial, as a factored form of a binomial squared. I'm saying a lot, but you'll see what I mean in a minute. X minus 2 quantity squared is the same as all of this. Okay, let me highlight them so that you can see their similarity. So this right here is the same as this right here. And then plus factor this guy. This is going to be y plus 4 quantity squared. And this, I'm doing this quickly. I know you can too. This is coming straight out of our completing the square mentality, right? We've done this before. So these are equivalent. And so now I'm just rewriting this together. 5 plus 4 is 9. 9 plus 16 is 25. And so now I have this in a beautiful form, right? Which is the form that we were desiring. Remember what we did. We took what looked like a bit of chaos. We joined our x terms together, not joining them together, but move them aside together, move the y terms aside together, completed the square for each term, supplemented on the other side what we needed to continue having equality, and then we got this. All right. And so now this is the easy part. Also, to me, sometimes I call it the fun part. Graphing is pretty fun when it's a circle. Not that my circles look good, but I just enjoy doing it because it's kind of like after I get it, I'm like, okay, after I get the center, our center is at 1, 2, and at -4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I got that from the 2 and the 4 here. That's my center. And then my radius, don't be fooled, it's not 25, it's 5. I'm going to move up 5 points from the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 5 spaces rather. And I know that's a part of my circle. Move to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm right here. And then move over to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about here, and down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know you've got better graph paper, so this is gorgeous, but you get what I'm doing. You get where we're going. Do. so much fun I'm having. Okay, I had fun with that. So hopefully that makes sense. And if you want, you can kind of jot down what those points are. So this would be 2, 1, right? Over here would be 5 from the center, since the center is at 2, -4. 5 over would be at 7, -4. You guys get me? Back here, I'm going to be going back, so that's going to be -3, -4. And then I went down 5 from -4, so this is going to be 2, and then down 5 will be -9. Make sense? Hopefully it does. I can't wait to talk to you. Let me know if this stuff is cool or if you want to discuss things. The next time we talk, we'll be talking about section 8.4. See you guys later.